Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Make sure I talk loud enough today.
Yes, yes. Hello, everyone. Hello.
What's up? Happy Wednesday. Hump
Yeah,
days in the house.
right. I don't know. It's been a little rough lately. This whole month, my gym exercise has been really tough. So I feel like Wednesday is truly a hump day for me.
It's a
Like,
hump day,
yeah,
right?
right. So,
I
but
hear. Well, it's been tough for me health wise. I started off with a 7-day migraine. I went
Mhm.
straight from that to a sinus infection, which you can probably
Okay,
still hear it in my voice right now because I'm not quite over it just yet. But yeah, March came right in.
right. But you know what? We're so dedicated that we're here for you.
We're
We're
here
here for you.
anyway. That's right.
We're
Sinus
here for
infection and all. That's right.
killing over and over.
Right. So
But
it's another water cooler Wednesday.
yes, yes. And we're so happy to be here with you guys. And each week we talk about different topics that we hope that are important to you. And if not, you can always share this post and with
Yep.
anyone else that might be interested in it.
Because
So
it might be important to them.
it might be important to them. So if you're watching, do me a favor, just share. Just share this post so that more people can learn more about us. And we're here every Wednesday at 6 p.m.
Even
Yeah,
with a migraine,
even with my
we still come.
right. We're here. We're here. So my name is Dione Branch with Allure Dream Homes, brokered by EXP, and I have my faithful lender with me.
Co-hosting is Lisa J, the house money mama with Nexa Mortgage, where brokers are better. And actually, we're going into a great season right now. We are actually seeing rates a little bit dipping down. They dipping down a little.
They're going. They're going.
Yes, just a little. I don't want to say too much, make the rate gods mad or something.
So
Right.
we told you, but don't tell nobody. Because really, you don't want to tell nobody because
Right.
that's just going to bring more buyers out. And this is what we've been
A lot of
telling you all to
competition.
avoid.
Yeah.
Like buy now, and then later on you can refinance when the rates go down
There
lower.
you go. But you marry the house and you date the rates.
Yes.
So tonight we actually have something we're going to talk about because the past few weeks we have been really diving deep into down payment. We've been talking about a lot of different ways for you to come up with the down payment money for your home because that's such a big question, an important question, and something that people ask a lot. Like, well, I really want to buy a house. They can afford the monthly payment, but they really haven't been able to save a lot of money. So we talked about using your income tax refund. I actually have somebody right now. We're about to close on her within the next probably 7 days. I should have a
Okay.
CTC, but she used her income tax refund and also her profit sharing. They do like
Mm-hmm.
a yearly thing where they shared profits with
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
employees. Yep. So she's using that actually to be able to close on her first house for her and her babies.
Woo!
Um, so we had
That's great.
Yep. So what we say actually works.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about that. We also talked about down payment assistance programs. We brought on Fabby, the fabulous Fabby from
Right.
Ida. Love
With
her.
Ida. Right.
And then we talked about some other down payment assistance programs that I have as a broker, like the Chinoa program and some other lender specific items too. So we talked about a bunch of different things to really be able to help with getting that down payment. Tonight, we're going to talk about how to use your retirement to
Right.
help with your down
Mm-hmm.
payment to purchase a home.
Yeah. And this is definitely something that's a good possibility for you because you're looking for the down payment. You may have a lot of money stored, saved, right, in your retirement. And
Mm-hmm.
so this is a good opportunity to be able to use some of that earlier before your retirement for you. So
Yes.
you and your family, right?
Yep. So just, you want to start off with really just kind of identifying which retirement accounts that you have. There could be like a 401k, you could have an IRA, an
Mhm.
individual retirement account. You could have a Roth IRA. That's another one. You could have a like a what do they call it? A deferred comp, because I know some of
Yeah,
my police officer friends
officers, right?
that, yeah, they get
Yeah.
deferred comp, but you can take money out of deferred comp. So and I think CTA, I believe they get deferred comp too. So
Hmm.
there's different kind of retirements accounts. So you want to see which retirement account you have, and then kind of like figure out if that's something that you'll be able to use. So
Yeah. So all right, all right. So now you've done that research. You kind of evaluated what kind you have, and maybe you don't have one just yet. Like you're not in it. You can go ahead and start to
you
get
can
in it,
start.
right? And then know that in the future, what their guidelines are for being able to use them. So
Hmm.
example is the understanding, like we need to also understand like the rules, right? So you're going to
Yeah.
evaluate which ones they are, but then you have to know what kind of rules they have. And so for the 401k, right? Because I know all that together, right? But for the 401k plans, you could be able to maybe just take a loan. You
You
don't
can.
even have to actually withdraw your money. So you could take a loan,
Hmm.
or you could do what they call is a hardship withdrawal loan.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, hardship withdrawal is not a loan. It's
right,
just a withdrawal. You don't have to pay that
withdraw,
back.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
right. The hardship withdrawal, and so right, it's just kind of pulling it down, and they're allowing you to pay for the house. The loans typically have to be repaid within the next first like 5 years or so. They
Hmm.
give you when you go through the 401k withdrawal for the loan part. If you do a
Hmm.
loan, then they'll tell you how much your payment is and how much is going to be pulled out of your check.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So, but you kind of got to be a little careful with that because your lender might have a little concern with that because that decreases your income. So, but before you do anything, before you choose which way you're going to go, I'm still going to tell you talk to your lender first.
That's a good idea.
Right.
I
So,
like that advice, Dion.
right, right. Don't do nothing without talking to us first at all. Right. So that's how. Right. You can have a traditional IRA. They say that you can withdraw up to $10,000 penalty free. So for your first time home purchase, right? So that's one thing you could do. And then there's a Roth IRA. It says contributions can be withdrawn at any time without penalty. You can also withdraw up to 10,000 earned penalty free if the account is at least 5 years old. So,
Actually, I didn't know that. Okay.
mhm. So now that's another thing. That's why we say, if you're thinking about purchasing and trying to figure out ways of saving your down payment money, look into some of these different retirement plans.
And I think one of the other things with the Roth is that you can get that without penalty or tax implications. I think with the
Hmm.
Roth, I think with the
Yeah,
traditional IRA, you'll get the taxes still. They'll still tax the money, but I
yeah.
think with the Roth IRA, they won't tax it. You won't get penalties or taxes on that
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's
Right.
not a bad deal.
Not a bad deal, right? And I think I might be on this. A lot of times, people will take their 401k and they might transfer it into a Roth account,
I've
and
heard of people
so
doing that. Hmm.
right. So a lot of times, and then there's other programs even with the Roth that you might want to look into even as an investor that I normally get notifications about using your Roth in order to help you with investments and
Mm-hmm.
kind of bringing your property into your portfolio. So there's a lot that you could do with this with your retirement. So um,
Yes. And like Dion was just saying, to kind of move on to another thing is thinking about a 401k loan. They usually will allow you to borrow up to 50% of your vested balance. Now, you know how when you look at your retirement statement, if you do, because a lot of times people don't really pay attention to retirement until it becomes, applicable to them. So you should be looking at your retirement statements anyway and kind of understand what they mean. But there are going to be two different balances because there is a balance that's called the quote unquote vested balance, so
yeah,
that money is available right now. So
yeah,
they'll give you 50% of your vested balance in order for you to be able to take a loan out on. And that loan can be up to looks like $50,000, but you do have to repay it with interest, just so you know. But it's no early withdrawal penalties. And you have to make the payment so you avoid the taxes and penalties on that. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And a lot of times they when you do the loan, they actually just take it right out of your
That's
check.
true. Yeah, like
Right.
a direct debit. Yeah, they
Yeah.
just take it
Hmm.
just comes right out your paycheck. So really, you don't even see it. You don't have to worry about making the payment yourself because they pretty much do it for you. They just automatically take it out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Hmm. That's a
yeah.
good point.
So that's a good thing. So then the next thing is we I mentioned earlier too the hardship withdrawals, right? So hardship is basically there's a lot of times with your 401k that you could do a hardship. You can use it sometimes for education,
Hmm.
sometimes medical,
Yep.
and then also for buying a house. Okay. And
If
so
it's your primary residence,
yes, yes.
because if you buy an investment property, they won't consider that a hardship.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And they do require you during this time to share information. Like they will I've had people that were clients that were using their 401k in
Hmm.
order to withdraw, and they had to have a copy of their contract.
Yeah.
And
I've seen that.
right, and
And
I
I've
think
I've even had people ask me to give them a loan estimate. They say
mhm,
my brokerage is asking for a loan estimate, and then I'll provide something like that for them so they can give
yeah,
the brokerage and show they do actually have a contract and how much they need for closing and stuff. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So one thing though with the hardship withdrawal, it is subject to taxes and also a 10% penalty. So that's because you're withdrawing before you're if you're
59
withdrawing
and a
before
half.
you're 59 and a half, right?
Yeah.
So then they'll give you a penalty because you're withdrawing your money earlier,
Yeah.
but it's still, it's still a good option. So,
It's definitely a good option. I've seen that work out really, really well for people. Again, this is a conversation. It's not always an easy conversation, but this is a conversation that we have to have with people. And so a lot of times, people don't even think about that, oh, well, I've been saving all this money in retirement all these years, and maybe I should see if I can tap into some of that. Some people really don't even think about it. So,
yeah, yeah.
but I have definitely seen it be a lifesaver or a deal saver, or a house saver, I guess would be
Right,
the way, on your side that you would think of as a customer, if you really want to buy a house, then this is a way to really make it happen. This is a
right.
realistic thing that you can do. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And the last thing about it is the hardship doesn't have to be repaid. So that's
Yep.
the difference between the loan and the hardship withdrawal. So
Yeah, absolutely. So they do talk a little bit about first time home buyer exceptions. I guess the IRS considers you to be a first time home buyer if you haven't owned a home in the past 2 years. So with that being the case, that exception now, I'm looking at this on paper, says it applies to both IRAs and Roth IRAs, which allows penalty free withdrawals up to $10,000. So if you're a first time buyer, and actually that's a good clarification for me because I hate to admit this, but I didn't actually know that.
hmm
so,
hmm
so if you're a first time buyer, then taken from the retirement, the IRA or the Roth IRA, actually you can get that withdrawal penalty free. That's not excluding taxes. So on the traditional IRA, you would still get the
have
taxes,
the
but
taxes, right?
you won't get the penalty. on the
Okay.
traditional IRA nor on the Roth.
Right. Right. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. So going into the taxes, so all of this is something that you need to understand, and there's definitely someone that can talk to you through your service providers, through that will answer any questions that you may have. But so make sure you understand the tax implications, right?
Hmm.
So when you want to pull out so much money, and then when it comes to the tax time in April, you're like, well,
Right.
what are they giving me this for? So that
Right.
right, right. You're like, I didn't have this. Yes, you did. You did, but you did it for a reason. And so then there's
Right.
ways that you can work with that. So always talk to the important people. Talk to your tax writer too, right? Saying, hey, I'm thinking about buying a house, because when you buy a house, you get to write out some things. They took some stuff away from us because,
Yes.
right, Treese just recently talked to us about taxes, and she'll probably come back soon.
Hmm.
But talk to your tax preparer too, right, and understand.
Absolutely.
Right, so withdraw from your traditional retirements are taxed as ordinary income. That's what
Mm.
it's saying, right? So it's going to be considered as additional income to you, and so you got to make sure that you're kind of prepared for that. But Roth IRA, we've talked about this a couple of times, is tax free. So,
Hmm.
always think about looking into what a Roth IRA is and how you can use that. I have a huge retirement. I might want to transfer some of my retirement into a Roth IRA, and then
Hmm.
I can go and purchase a house, and now I'm penalty free, right? So it's
Yeah.
always about making a plan.
We talked a lot about being prepared. It's
Right.
like every week when we come on, we something that we talk about is going to be basically in reference to being prepared. And honestly, we can't stress it enough because it's nothing worse than when you just go out and you start looking. And some people do this. They do it backwards. Sorry to
Yeah.
say it that way, but it's the truth. um and they go out, they start looking at stuff online, oh, let me check out Zillow, let me check out Redfin, let me go to
Mhm.
realtor.com. And then you start seeing, and these people take lovely pictures of homes. I like to sometimes just go on the MLS, and just look at
Right.
some of the pictures of the houses, like, oh, that's so pretty, oh, that's a good idea, oh, I should do that, because they take some really nice pictures of these houses, and it's hard sometimes not to fall in love with the house, especially if you don't have one, and so, but that's not a good feeling. So we're gonna talk
Mhm.
about emotional stuff right now. That's
Yeah.
not a good feeling to go,
Right.
see something that you really, 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 really want, but you haven't done the legwork to prepare to be able to get it.
Right. We want to make sure that our clients make it to the end, right? So we
Yeah.
want to start out with you. So even if you're thinking about purchasing next year, let us
Mm-hmm.
know. Give us a call. Let's make that plan together. We talk about options that you can use in order to purchase. And
Yeah.
then once so now we have your plan together, we can get you there. We have a lot of different people on our team that can definitely help you. You have credit issue. We got somebody
Yeah.
for that.
Somebody, yeah, Maurice does credit. Yep.
Right, right. We need taxes. You need tax conversation. Teresa is available to take
Yep.
on new clients and talk to you about your taxes. So
Yep.
we definitely have a lot of different people available to help you through the process. And of course, you got us, right? We're your cheerleaders. We're going to be your biggest cheerleaders. We're going to be there from the beginning. Exactly, and all the way to the end because we want to be at
Right.
the front, right?
That's
So,
right. Because we have every intention of coming to your closing to celebrate.
yes, yes. So no, don't worry. Don't think that contacting us too early. Oh, it's too early to contact you. We've had clients that we've talked to maybe 2 years ago. That's currently one of them right now is already pre-approved and
Yep.
ready to move by June. So we definitely work you through your process.
Absolutely.
All right.
Um, So another thing to kind of think about is as you evaluate the impact on your retirement goals, because we don't want you to take this lightly. Obviously, you put away retirement money for a reason. So you do want to think about with the plans that you have for retirement, what kind of impact is this going to have on that?
Mhm.
That may help you to decide if you want to do a loan or if you want to do a hardship withdrawal, or it may even decide how much you want to take out. And maybe one of the other ways that we gave suggestions for coming up with your down payment, maybe you use that instead or in addition to.
Addition to, right,
Yep.
to make this amount less, right? So
Yep.
maybe you're only pulling from your retirement for 5, 7,000,
Yep.
not a larger sum of money, because
Hmm.
we've stacked on the different options of being able to actually pay for your down payment.
Yep.
We've asked the seller to contribute. We've we've looked at IDA programs, things like that. So there's a lot of different things that we can also stack on top of you actually pulling from your retirement.
Right. So retirement doesn't have to end.
Exactly. Yeah.
You'll still get to retire and enjoy your home and your retirement.
In your retirement. Hmm. All right. The next thing is, we kind of talked about this. We can't say it enough. Seek professional help, right? So make sure when you're preparing to purchase and thinking about the 401k, make sure you seek some professional help with it. Just to understand, the two important people before you pull from your 401k is your tax professional,
Yeah.
making sure that you understand the implications of your taxes, and then
Mhm.
also just contacting your retirement company, who's holding your money, and having an understanding of, if I do this, what is this? How does this impact me? And a lot of
Right.
times they have calculators that can help you with that as well.
And they do sometimes people are a little intimidated about calling to the brokerage, but every time I've called, they've been
Oh
more
yeah,
than helpful. Like they answer questions that I didn't think to ask. You
yeah.
know,
Hmm.
they were every time, and I usually, normally, I mean, I've had to call for myself before as well, but usually when I've called in with the customer like, hey, let's just do this call together. Let's call over to your brokerage, Fidelity, or whoever you have, and
Right,
just call up and
Schwab.
say, hey,
Hmm.
we have questions, about whatever, and then just get on the phone and have a conversation with them. Sometimes we kind of push ourselves out of things and not getting the information that we need because we're just a little too timid. So I would say this is your money.
Yeah.
So don't be timid about your money. So, and like I said, the experiences that I've had over the years has really been that most of the people, they want to help. They want to
Hmm.
help you, and they usually are really nice and patient.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'd have been on the phone with some people that needed a lot of patience.
Because it's your retirement money. It's a scary thing. Everybody's told you,
Yeah,
don't touch it, don't move, don't do anything with it. But traditionally, you want to add to it and make sure that you're saving for your retirement. But you can
right.
also make your money work for you, right? So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, is that you had planned your repayment?
Yes, I guess that is. I kind of dinged in a little bit on yours. I took it over. Okay. So this is number 9. Actually, we done went through a lot of stuff with y'all today in a short amount of time.
Right.
So this is actually our 9th point. So planning for repayment if necessary. So if you do take a loan from your retirement account, make sure you just kind of plan. So set aside some time to go over a budget to make sure that you'll be able to, repay everything. Avoid the risk of taxes and penalties by making sure you stay in conjunction with those repayment terms that have been set. Like we mentioned earlier, so we'll re-emphasize this one because I think it's important. If they don't make a suggestion to automatically take it out, ask. can y'all just take it out my check?
Yeah.
You normally take out my retirement withdrawals from my check anyway. Can you just take this, the loan payment out of my check? If they don't offer it, ask, because
Hmm.
that really is probably going to be the best way to do it. One, it'll ensure that you don't have any hiccups or issues with the repayment, which not repaying obviously can cause a problem. So it'll make sure you don't have any issues with that. And then two, I think it'll make it easier because you don't. I think for most of us, when we don't see the money coming, like if it doesn't come directly to us and then we have to give it away, it's easier. It's actually easier for us, to deal with it that way. It's like
Yeah.
I don't really miss it, because I didn't see it anyway.
Exactly right. I don't
Like it's
know.
on paper, but it was never really in my hands. So money in my hands, I gotta give to somebody. That feels different than just, okay, well, I know
Right.
y'all was gonna give it to me, but then you didn't, so it's okay, we're good.
Right. We're good. Right. Ah.
Absolutely.
All right. So now the final thing is you've done all the research, you looked in, understood what your 401k, your different options that you can, and you've made this decision, whichever it is, whichever plan it is, in order to move forward, right? So
Yep.
you know what? We're gonna start the home buying process, right? So I always say we told you that they're gonna ask you information for your contract, things like that. So don't pull down before you actually on contract and
Yeah.
we're ready to close. We'll have enough time to actually pull your money down with Lisa, like, okay, this is we're good. You could go ahead and start to do the withdrawal for your 401k
Right.
because we don't want you to pull down if 'cause especially if you do a loan, you could do a loan and maybe not have to provide them any paperwork. But the hardship would require. So if you did a loan and you pulled down, I don't want to. We had somebody spending money. We did.
We sure have.
We did. Don't do that.
Yes, we did.
We're miracle workers, but don't do that. So don't do that. But so let's wait till the right time, and then once we say, okay, now you can pull that money down, we're ready to close. You need this money for
Yeah.
closing. Lisa will have enough time for us to say, clear the close, schedule the closing, have money in hand.
And nowadays, it only takes probably about 7 days or less to get money.
Yeah,
Between you making the application, it getting approved, and them actually depositing money, directly depositing it into your account. Most brokerages, I would say nowadays, do that in 7 days or less.
yeah, yes. So there's
So,
no need to do it earlier. Just
right.
when we say yes, now
Yep.
you can do it. Because sometimes, unfortunately, there might be a little hiccup in the transaction. We might, we go through a lot to buy a house. We do a home
Yeah.
inspection. We do an appraisal. Sometimes those are little things that can kind of turn things around,
Yep.
and we have to go find a better home or
Hmm.
things like that. So we don't want you to pull anything down before you really actually need it and we're ready to
Yeah.
close. But when we are ready to close, look,
Okay. You gonna do the running man?
right, right. When we're ready to close, we're gonna be there. Your cheerleaders will be there for you, waiting with gifts for you. So
Yeah, actually, we do that too, don't we?
we do. We do a lot for you.
Yeah.
Right. So let's say if you're thinking about buying, again, this is one good option for you, and we've gave you a few for the last for
Last
the
few
month of
weeks, it's been
March.
about 3 weeks. Yeah.
Right, for the
Yep.
month of March, we've been giving you all the nuggets that you need in order to be able to buy a house. So
By now, you guys should feel extremely empowered. If you've been watching all of these, you should feel really empowered. Like, hey, I didn't think about that. I can't do that. You
hmm
have a lot of options. for
Right.
ways to be able to come up with stuff. And if you still have questions, guess what? We're here.
Right. We're here. And what? Call Lisa on her phone. She'll answer.
You can call me on my cell phone.
Exactly. Right. She'll answer for you. So this is her number. Give her a call. She'll talk to you, get you started. If you want to
Yeah.
talk to me about like I can create a search for you of different homes in the area. So while we're waiting for all your money details to be
Yep.
solidified, right? We can still be looking at the houses. You don't have to look on Redfin, Zillow. You can look on my database. You can look at the
Yep.
ones that I actually where the properties for Zillow, where the properties for Redfin actually come
Come
from
from,
my
right. The
system, right?
original source.
The original source, right? And be
Yes.
able to see the properties that are actually coming through, and then gives you an idea of, okay, I was thinking about, this area, but that seems a little bit pricier. I don't want to go there. I want to
Yeah.
go here. Taxes are higher here. uh,
Hmm.
and also driving neighborhoods to see, okay, I like this neighborhood. This is a nice neighborhood for me and my family, right?
Right.
So we're here. We're ready for the plan. Give us a call. Give us a call.
All right. Look at that. It's 6:31. Wow.
Here every
We
Wednesday.
breezed right through that.
Right. We're out here every Wednesday. Bye.
Have a good night, everybody. Next week, I'm going to have my pom poms.